Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our entitled parents. In today's episode, EM gets me permanently banned from my martial arts classes for permanently disabling her son. No, you can't touch my dog. Entitled Dad wants free flight privileges. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. EM gets me permanently banned from my martial arts classes for permanently disabling her son. Before I start this story, I have to add a bit of backstory. I am a 19-year-old male, and when I was younger, around 14, I used to do taekwondo classes. I was a black belt at the time and I really enjoyed it. We had a few incidents where parents would take their aggressive kids into classes for a free trial, but they were mostly dealt with by the instructor. But nothing makes my blood boil like this incident. I did taekwondo on every Tuesday and Thursday for around an hour. While on Thursdays I was in an age requirement class which was 13 plus, so most kids had common sense, and it was tougher than Tuesdays which had no age requirement, and I was helping the instructor teach as I had done training for it, which helped me with getting a job because I was planning on working in a place like that. So one Tuesday afternoon, 10 minutes after the class had started, a EM runs up the stairs making a ruckus with her whining EK, who looked around 7. The instructor lets me know that I'll take over for a while as he goes and assists the EM and EK. While I'm showing the class, who were mostly young kids around 7 to 9, how to do a certain punch, the EK bursts through the door and runs straight over to the punching bags. He proceeds to push me over, as I was crouching, and start punching the bag. I stand up immediately and say to the EK in a semi-unhappy tone, "Hey, you can't be doing that to others." He immediately stopped punching the bag and says, "I kid you not, get off." I stare in shock at the kid, who was younger than most people in the room, that was using language that I wouldn't even use on my worst day. The EK then skips away like nothing happened. While still in shock, I continue the class as I would tell the instructor after he returned about the incident. I look over to the EK, who was saying something to his EM, which I assume was about me, while she was purchasing a uniform. She stops and looks over to me in pure disgust, then says something to the instructor, who had a confused look. That's when another kid grabbed my arm and asked for my help with a punch. I gladly go over and help him to get out of that situation. About 10 minutes later, the EK comes out of the toilets wearing a uniform with a wet stain on it already, which we can all agree on what it was, and he proceeds to start talking to the other kids about his Minecraft world. Luckily, the instructor overheard this and went over to tell the EK to listen or sit out. In which he replies, "Fine." The instructor informs me that he will take over again and I should put the punching bags back. I do as he says and then go grab a drink and sit down while waiting for him to call for me in a demonstration. In which he does for a certain hair grab escape. After the demonstration, the class partners up and does it with each other, in which the EK comes up to me with the biggest grin on his face and asks if he can be my partner. I reluctantly agree as he pulls my arm while running into a spot, and he says he wants to grab my hair first. I knew exactly what he was going to do, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He then grabs my hair with his full force, laughs and pulls me, in which I respond by kicking the back of his leg so he would fall over onto a mat. When he fell, he decided not to let go of my hair but to pull me down with him, in which he had pulled some of my hair out. After that, I yelled at him saying, "Why in the HLL would you do that?" When his EM looks over and says to me, "You little ST. Get the F** off my son, you pedo." I start to stand up while holding my head, and the EK starts yelling he can't feel his leg. The EM comes and whacks me straight in the face with her handbag as the instructor comes up and yells at us to get out, in which I grab my bag and walk out the door with a giant bruise on my face. As I wait for the bus, a car pulls up to me, and it's none other than the EM and EK themselves. EM says to me, "You will be hearing from us very soon. My son is permanently disabled and you will pay for all of the bills." She then grabs a full water bottle and throws it at me, then speeds off while her EK is grinning at me. Fast forward a couple days later and I receive an email from my taekwondo class saying I'm banned from the place for badly injuring a child and that I would not receive a refund for the rest of the year's classes. I'm writing this story because I was recently unbanned from the place as the company is running short on members and is going to shut down if they can't keep up. I hope you enjoyed my first story. I don't know what's more annoying, the EK or the company kowtowing to the EM and it ally. Right. OP, why would you give this business any more of your money? It should have been clear to your instructor who was at fault here, and from the way you tell the story you had an entire room of witnesses. Didn't the instructor know you well enough to understand that something like that would be out of character? Don't they make people sign waivers about shit like this? It's been a long time since I took a martial arts class, but I vaguely remember signing something that amounted to "you might get hurt, it happens, you're accepting this risk signing up." I wouldn't go back if they were willing to throw you under the bus for this, Karen. Especially since the kid grinning at you afterwards definitely means he was lying just to get you in trouble. Can confirm, in MMA signed a long waiver. Covered anything shy of someone pulling a Glock and capping my left testicle. The dojo sucks here and I wouldn't go back. This kid is going to be a nightmare if his mom is screaming lawsuit over you doing a basic self-defense move on her son. As a mom of the kid in martial arts, you accept that yes, they can get hurt in class, plus the move you did is harmless. It doesn't cause injury, it causes the person to lose their balance. The dojo is setting themselves up for nothing but headaches from this woman by catering to her insanity. I would press charges against the mom for hitting you with her bag. That is assault. Her crotch fruit in dojo for personal injury, the hair they pulled out. The company is running short on members. Now is the time to put this story up as a 1-star Google review. I wouldn't go back to the dojo if it were me. They didn't even look into the incident, they just banned you. Not cool. No, you can't touch my dog. Sadly, this isn't the first time this happened. My GF and I got a dog since we moved in together. Since we both don't like to buy from breeders, we got him from the local animal shelter. Our doggo we called Ragnar, like Ragnar Lodbrok. We both loved the show Vikings. Ragnar is a good boy. He's potty trained now and he loves me and my GF. Ragnar is a German Shepherd / Border Collie mix. We got him full grown and the shelter guessed he's between 1.5 and 3 years old. So he's a young doggo. But like many rescues, Ragnar isn't the best with meeting new people. He needs some time getting used to people. So we have a yellow ribbon on our leash. In Germany, a yellow ribbon means stay away. So today I went walkies with Ragnar, because my GF was at work. When I walk him, I never go to the dog park or the popular park in my city, because of people. As I walked, I saw a child running towards me and Ragnar. Ragnar got into a defensive stand and I raised my voice to stop the kid. It didn't work. I then yelled at him to stop and do not touch my dog. Apparently this was a mistake. Me equals well me. EK equals entitled kid. EM equals entitled mom. EM, don't yell at my kid. EK, I want to pet the doggy. EM, he just wants to pet the dog. Me, no. Don't you know what this mean? I pointed to the ribbon asterisk that means closer contact not wanted. EK still tried to touch my dog. Me, don't you dare. EM, don't talk to my kid like that. Just let them pet the dog. Me, now. This ribbon is there for a reason. He's not good with people. EM, well, if he's so dangerous, maybe you shouldn't take him out or even have him. Me, oh, shut up, you idiot. EM, don't swear in front of my kid, you really worst German swear word. After that, it was over for me and I just passed her and her kid. Her kid. A maybe 5-year-old boy threw a tantrum because he couldn't pet my dog. I just walked away. Ragnar got a treat, because he was a really quiet and good boy during this whole thing. We went home and I can't wait to tell this story to my GF when she comes home from her hospital shift. We're both nurses. Don't ran up to dogs' kids. Yellow ribbon or not. Don't they teach kids anymore that you do not walk up to a strange dog without being properly introduced? My parents told me when I was a kid, but who knows how it is today. I was taught from a very young age. It honestly blows my mind that these kinds of people think they're entitled to pet my dog even after being told no, and b, think a dog doesn't deserve to get out for a walk and experience the world. Entitled dad wants free flight privileges. I work for an airline and we get free flight privileges to extend to our parents, including step-parents and in-laws. But I don't particularly like my stepmother or know her very well. For context, my mother died a few years ago and my dad remarried recently. Thus, I don't want to extend the privilege to her. However, my father is upset. For context, I know he is upset because we get one friend to add and my dad mentioned adding her as the friend, to which I told him I decide who that one friend is and that I might give it to someone else. He got upset because he says it costs him money because he covers her costs and that granting the friend pass should be automatic because it helps him. For context, she doesn't make much money and my dad provides for her mostly, especially for vacations. He went on to say that because he paid for my college tuition, room and board, provided me with a car, and gave me $20,000 in my savings account, that I should return the favor by giving her the flight pass because it helps him save money. He feels it's unfair if he gets it free and she has to pay. He went on to say that he would refuse free flights if I don't grant it to her. I responded by saying I don't support the marriage and don't like her, to which he said that I don't have the authority to dictate the marriage. I responded back by saying that he doesn't get to decide who I grant the flight privileges to. I told him that with this kind of behavior, I might not even grant him the pass since entitled behavior might get me in trouble. He got more upset and said I was being disrespectful towards him because I shouldn't use his behavior towards me as an indication of him at the airport. He went on to say that he will refuse the privilege because of my disrespect. He went on to proclaim that not granting the flight pass to her is essentially declaring to the whole world that I don't like her. I told him that I don't trust her enough to take responsibility for her. He said that he will be responsible for her, but that's not how it works, as the employee, me, takes responsibility. I said that it's his right to marry her, but it's also his responsibility. I think he is being entitled. I especially don't like the fact that he is imposing her as a priority against my will. He has made threats of withholding my last semester's tuition and taking the car back. Thus, I'm really uncomfortable. Oof, he really doesn't understand that, does he? He cannot demand that you accept this woman or his marriage, and he especially does not get to tell you that you need to be responsible for someone's behavior that you don't even know. Fine, he said he refuses the privilege? Then take him at his word, he doesn't get the pass either. He can pay full price for them both. What entitled, rude behavior. He's a hypocrite. 1. He wants the pass for her and himself, but then also says he doesn't want the pass. It's your job on the line if they misbehave on a flight while on your buddy passes. There's a reason a lot of airline employees don't give out buddy passes and skip adding a preferred friend. There's very few people I could trust in this world, and my stepmother isn't one of them. Do not add her. She can pay for her own flights and dad doesn't need to be on the list either. Edited to add, if he doesn't pay your tuition, get a loan. If he takes your car, block him. Don't let him use money to control you. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.